Namaste, mahalo, gracias, merci, grazie, danke, arigato, sheshe, shukran, toda, asante, tukcheche, kapun krap, dhanyavad. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And forgive me if I mispronounced any of those. Those are all different ways of saying thank you. Today's episode is on gratitude and the healing power of gratitude and thankfulness, and how gratitude and thankfulness really impact our health and our consciousness and our inner harmony, our peace, our way of being. And we're going to explore this today through the lens of Ayurveda and through modern scientific research, what the research has proven. And a lot of what the research has proven is what Ayurveda told us 8,000 years ago. And ultimately, what the wisdom of our heart tells us. I would go as far as saying common sense, except for that, unfortunately, it's not common sense. Gratitude is, in my viewpoint, it's a universal virtue, and it transcends culture, religion, philosophy. Every place on the planet, whether it's First Nations of North and South America or indigenous wisdom of Australia and Africa or the Vedic culture, gratitude is this reciprocity with nature, with creation, and ultimately with ourself. It's so much more than this polite acknowledgement that we've kind of reduced it to. Really, gratitude is this profound emotion. Even more than an emotion, it's a state of being. And that state of being significantly influences not just our physical health, but our emotions, our mental health, and ultimately our consciousness. What gratitude is on a realistic level, a practical level, is the recognition and appreciation of the goodness that we have in our life, what we've been given, of the blessings of life, irrespective of external circumstances. It's appreciating life as a gift and even as a lesson. When we pay good money to go to college, we pay good money to go to good teachers and learn a lesson. And those lessons are sometimes difficult, and we have to work hard to get the lesson. But we're grateful for the teacher. We go to the gym and we work really hard. We go beyond our limits. We push. We even intentionally create micro tears in the muscles so we grow. Gratitude gives us that thankfulness for the growth process. And on another level, having gratitude goes beyond the level of the individual. It bridges connections. It strengthens relationships. On a global level, it enhances the collective well-being. More than anything, gratitude is a simple act of just recognizing the goodness in our life. And so many cultures have revered gratitude as a key to inner peace, as a key to our health and longevity, and a key to our spiritual growth. Whether we're looking at the ancient Vedic scriptures or modern psychological research, gratitude is seen as this potent force that shapes our life. It shapes our physical vitality. It strengthens our emotional and immunological resilience. And it boosts our consciousness. It connects us to consciousness. And that's so important because in today's world, we're filled with distraction. That's actually what all the addiction is. It's a distraction. It's actually a desire to merge back with the self, to feel good, because we got separated from the self. The modern world has filled us with so many distractions. Those distractions are offered to us at lightning speed. Fast food, fast internet service, fast delivery from Amazon. We want things instantly. Even on social media, we want it instantly. Instagram. We want short little things. all that does is create more stress. And it even creates the illusion of separateness. It makes us think that we need this thing outside of ourselves to be happy. And the more things outside of ourself we have, the more happy we'll be. But still, millionaires and billionaires are miserable. They're committing suicide in their air-conditioned mansions. Money and things don't make us happy. Gratitude. Gratitude serves as an anchor. On another level, it allows us to pause. A sacred pause. And in that pause, the mind calms down and the heart opens. And we align with life's natural, inherent intelligence. Gratitude is so much more than just this feel-good emotional or moral virtue that the Bible tells us that we should do. It's a frequency. It's a vibrational pattern. It's medicine. Gratitude is medicine. And it is a spiritual path on its own. You don't have to believe in an external God with a beard and clouds or sitting on some throne. Gratitude is a spiritual path. In today's discussion, we're going to explore the interdimensional, the multidimensional nature of gratitude from the viewpoint of modern science, as well as Ayurveda and consciousness studies, and really look at how gratitude illuminates and strengthens our power to heal the body, uplift our hearts and minds, and truly awaken and reconnect us to spirit. Both modern science and ancient wisdom are completely aligned in their understanding of gratitude's power. It's not always that modern science and ancient wisdom align. Well, real science actually does, but in this perspective, they're completely aligned. From the Ayurvedic model, what gratitude does is promotes this sattvic quality, this clarity and harmony of mind. And that's essential for both physical and mental health. It's essential for emotional intelligence. It's essential for our own spiritual growth. Likewise, the contemporary research in psychology and neuroscience has proven over and over and over again that gratitude reduces stress, improves our mental health, and influences our cellular process. I've talked about it before. There's two profound authors, Bruce Lipton and Candace Perth. Bruce wrote a book called Biology of Belief, and Candace Perth wrote a book called Molecules of Emotion, all proving that what we think and what we feel directly affect our cellular function and our cellular process. In Ayurveda, they call that Pilu Chitta Agni, the cellular intelligence, the fire of the cell to digest life's experience. So we're going to explore this multifaceted process, the multifaceted effects of gratitude on our health and consciousness. We're going to look at it from the Ayurvedic model and the scientific model and whatever other holistic models have offered us some wisdom. The first and most important thing, though, is understanding what gratitude is. It's so much more than just an emotion. It's a multidimensional concept, I would say. What this does is encompasses our emotional, cognitive, and behavioral components of life. There's three aspects here. There's three components: emotional, cognitive, and behavioral. On the emotional aspect of this is when we actually have the feeling or appreciation or joy for whatever blessings we have in our life, whatever we see as a blessing. It doesn't have to be winning the lottery. It can be small little blessings. Writing in a gratitude journal. We can have gratitude for writing in the gratitude journal. Even having gratitude for enough wealth to have a notebook and a pen to write in that gratitude journal. And what I mean by that is I spent a large part of 25 years in India, and on the streets in South India, the children are running around and they don't actually beg for money there. What they're asking for, they hold out their hand and they say, 1 pen, 1 paper, 1 pen, please, 1 pen, please, 1 paper, please. They don't have enough money to buy a pen and a piece of paper to learn how to write their names in. Can you imagine? A pen in India costs about 2 rupees. That's a couple pennies. a piece of paper even less. And they don't have that. So if we have the ability to buy a notebook and a pen, that's enough to be grateful for. Having a refrigerator, having money to put food in the refrigerator, not everyone on the planet has that. Not everyone on the planet gets a meal every day. Not everyone on the planet has the ability to choose what we eat. Having gratitude. If you're listening to this podcast, you must have headphones or earphones or a radio or the ability to access Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Having gratitude for that, because that costs money. So we have blessings. Looking at having appreciation for whatever we have in life. Truly having that feeling. And then there's a cognitive aspect where we consciously acknowledge the positive aspects in our life, whatever they may be. It's a conscious acknowledgement. The emotional aspect is the feeling of it, truly feeling it in our body. The cognitive is a conscious acknowledgement of it. And then the behavioral aspect is expressing the appreciation. And that can happen simply by saying thank you. Thank you to someone if they do something for you. Saying thank you to someone if they don't do something for you. Saying thank you to the higher power, to God, Goddess, Christ, Buddha, Allah, Shiva, whoever it is you see as the higher power. Giving thanks to the Most High. Giving thanks to that creative force in the universe. And then another one of the behavior aspects is performing acts of kindness, doing seva, doing selfless service. Because our heart is filled with joy and gratitude, we want to pass that forward. So emotional, cognitive, and behavioral aspects are the different multidimensional aspects of what gratitude is. And there's different types of gratitude. There's 3 types of gratitude: trait gratitude, state gratitude, and collective gratitude. Trait gratitude is a stable personality characteristic where the individual is in a constant state of feeling of gratitude. That's our natural trait. We feel grateful for everything, and expressing that gratitude all day long. Our life becomes a constant flow of gratitude. A state gratitude is a temporary feeling of thankfulness that was elicited by a very specific situation or experience we had in life. So the trait is inherent and the state is situational. And then we can have a collective gratitude, which is essentially the shared feeling of gratitude within a group or a community, where we're in a group sharing that state of gratitude. And that fosters unity, that fosters a collective consciousness and a shared purpose with each other. So that's the definition of what gratitude is. And that's really important to understand as we go into what gratitude is going to do in our bodies and in our consciousness. In our body, on the physical level, expressing gratitude, feeling gratitude has a profound impact on our physical health. Ayurveda told us this. Transpersonal Buddhist psychology tells us this, and modern science tells us this. All of us, all of these paths tell us the same thing, that it reduces stress, that it improves our heart function, cardiovascular health, that it boosts our immunity. It influences our longevity, and not just longevity, healthy longevity. Because we can live a long life that's not filled with health and vitality and radiance. That's not so enjoyable. The purpose is to love life, to enjoy life. So it boosts the quality of life. So again, gratitude's not just an emotion. It is a physiological state, a biological physiological state. Modern research done at the University of California and University of Miami in collection together found that practicing gratitude lowers cholesterol. That's our primary stress hormone. It increases the sympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest. It's our state of homeostasis. It can reduce systemic inflammation and improve our heart rate variability. It enhances our sleep quality. It increases our immune function. All of this. All of these findings. I mean, we didn't need these findings if we just trusted the Ayurveda, but these findings have proven without a doubt that gratitude is literally the antidote to most modern diseases, dis-ease. It's the antidote to chronic stress. It's the antidote to chronic inflammation. And those are the kind of the underlying components of most modern disease. stress is the silent killer. It's kind of the foundation of all imbalances. And so gratitude and the stress response is profound, because stress is a significant factor in so many of these chronic illnesses, especially heart disease, diabetes, and depression. So gratitude is counteracting this stress. The methodology of that is that it regulates the body's HPA axis. That's hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which is our fight, freeze, or flight state. And when the body is regulated in this, we don't have cortisol, we don't have stress, and we go into relaxation. And our body can produce the happiness and feel-good hormones, dopamine, serotonin. And actually our addictions, all we're trying to do is get more dopamine so we can be self-regulated, so we can feel relaxed. That's what any addiction is doing, is trying to feel relaxed, trying to feel real at home, back to self. There's so many scientific studies, one after another, proving that practicing gratitude lowers the cortisol levels, reducing our stress and regulating the parasympathetic nervous system. In that state, the body can rest and repair. Our body heals so much quicker when we express gratitude. There's also so many correlations between gratitude and heart health, our cardiovascular health, because gratitude reduces blood pressure. It enhances the heart rate variability, and just generally, it promotes overall cardiovascular function. The heart is open, physiologically and energetically. Again, because gratitude reduces inflammation. Inflammation is a key factor in heart disease. So regular practice of gratitude lowers both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. Phenomenal. And that's been scientifically proven. Gratitude also improves our immune function, because the immune system and nervous system aren't actually, in Ayurveda, they're not two different things. It's what's called Majja. It's the nervous system. It's the nerve brain tissue that regulates all immunological and nervous system functions. They're not considered separate. The endocrine system, immune system, nervous system, it's really all one. We just came up with different names for it. And that's the difference between Ayurveda and allopathic medicine. Allopathic medicine treats systems, where Ayurveda is treating the whole being. When we express gratitude, the whole immune system responds positively. And again, when we have positive immune response, stress goes down and positive emotions go up. One of the researches done showed that gratitude increases immunoglobulin A, IgA. That is a critical antibody in our body's defense mechanism against infections. We must have high levels of IgA to fight infection. And so gratitude does that. By reducing stress, gratitude maintains our immune balance, our balanced immune response. Amazing. Here's another one. This is phenomenal. Gratitude and pain perception. Because pain and pain perception, it's a profound interlink, because everyone responds to pain differently. Some people have a high pain tolerance. It's just the perception. What they found was that gratitude lowers the perception of pain because it activates the reward pathway in the brain. And what that does is shifts our focus from discomfort to a positive experience. If you see a picture of me, I actually have a lot of tattoos. And it's interesting because I actually find getting tattoos, it's a painful experience, but it's also a pleasurable, positive experience. When I'm getting tattooed, I breathe and I watch it from a witness state, and I actually allow it to produce endorphins that makes me feel pretty high. You don't need drugs. A tattoo is it's actually addicting. I have a lot of tattoos because, one, it's decorative and it's art and it's worship. I see it as a sacred ceremony, but it's also creates these amazing hormones in the brain. But it shifts discomfort into a positive experience when we're grateful. And what the studies have shown with that is people in chronic pain, when they express gratitude, they all across the board report lower pain intensity and overall improved quality of life. And this is pretty fascinating because they've done these gratitude intervention processes like journaling. writing it down, actually writing it down, tangibly, the act of writing down gratitude or meditating on gratitude, it activates the brain's dopaminergic system, the dopamine system in the brain, which is associated with pleasure and pain modulation. And so these people who live in chronic pain, when they're writing gratitude, the pain goes down. It's amazing. The other component then, because when we're in pain, the longer we're in pain, it's hard to separate at some point pain and suffering, but they are two different things. Suffering is the internal interpretation, what happens inside us as a result of that ongoing pain. So gratitude also plays a very pivotal role in mental health. When we have this dopamine, when we have more serotonin, we have reduced levels of depression, of anxiety, and we have an enhanced emotional resilience. It improves our emotional regulation. There's a system of psychology called positive psychology, and it states that gratitude is one of our most reliable predictors of well-being. People who constantly express gratitude, we can pretty much assure that they're going to have healthier biomarkers all the way around and just live a more happy, healthy life. There was a randomized control trial done for practicing gratitude for as little as 10 minutes a day with a large group, and the results were profound also. It's significantly decreased the symptoms of depression, anxiety, PTSD, and CPTSD, which is complex post-traumatic stress disorder. They did these studies with veterans who were in war, who saw horrible things, and just 10 minutes a day dramatically reduced these symptoms. And there's actually some studies. This is really fascinating. To me, it's fascinating. I hope you find this interesting too. But the study showed that the effects of gratitude journaling were equal to or better than pharmaceutical interventions in terms of improving mental health outcomes. And guess what? There's zero side effects for gratitude. Nothing. You don't get all these side effects that come with drugs. It's amazing. This is profound. Equal to or better than pharmaceutical intervention. Okay? That is immense. If you don't believe this, just try it and see what happens. It's amazing. In 2015, there was a study that was published in the journal Frontiers in Psychology, and it showed that the participants who wrote gratitude letters to someone, living or non-living, across the board reported positive emotions and decreased symptoms in depression. Even 3 months after the study ended and they stopped doing the gratitude journal, there was still that residue of positive emotions and decreased symptoms. That's profound, especially with mental health. They've shown that gratitude counteracts depressive symptoms. It fosters positive emotion. It reduces the rumination, focusing on what happened to us in the past, what may or may not ever happen in the future. It brings us into the present moment. The mechanism, the biological mechanism, is that it increases serotonin and dopamine. Those are our neurotransmitters that are associated with happiness and well-being. What that does when we have serotonin, we have dopamine, and we're expressing gratitude, it creates this space for us to have a cognitive reframe. It helps us reframe life in a different way, to look at life from a positive perspective versus a negative, seeing or reframing that life is happening for us, not to us. Even the challenges, even the difficulties, even the painful experiences, we use those to grow. If we see them happening for us, that we can learn something here. We can use them as stepping stones to climb the ladder of health and consciousness. A 2003 study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals who maintained an ongoing gratitude journal experienced significant reduction in depressive symptoms and alleviation of anxiety. It showed that the gratitude journal created a deep sense of safety and grounding, which allowed the person writing the gratitude journal to feel they're in the present moment. We're not bound to the past. It's no longer dictating who we are now. And we're not worried about the future. We're present with what is. We're now saying yes to life. Amazing. There's a part of the brain called the amygdala. And what that amygdala does, it's a survival part of the brain. It's the fear and stress response. It's a survival part. And when we did the gratitude journals, it shifted the focus from the future to the present, and it reduced that amygdala activity. So there wasn't the ability in the brain to have a fear response. There wasn't the worry, the anxiety about the future, and there wasn't the rumination over the past. What that can allow us then to do is have regulation, emotional regulation. And when we practice gratitude, it enhances the emotional regulation and our emotional intelligence, the EI. From an Ayurvedic view, what that's doing is creating an increase in the sattvic quality of the mind, that pure clarity state, while reducing the rajas, which is the unstable restlessness, and completely annihilating the tamas, which is the inertia, the lethargy, the depression in the mind. That sattvic state is peace. That sattvic state is harmony. It is the clarity of mind. It's the clarity of self. It's the clarity of purpose in our life. So when we have a regular gratitude practice, all the things in life that have the potential to create emotional turbulence disappear, and we use those things for inner balance. It's like riding on a roller coaster. We know there's ups and downs. And when we go on a roller coaster, we're excited about it. We pay money to go on the roller coaster. We want that. We like the view at the top, the excitement of the downward speed. But we have to be regulated in that. If we don't know that life has ups and downs, it can be incredibly stressful. But we're aware of that. We've all lived here long enough to know that nothing is consistent. The only constant is change, as the saying goes. Everything is in a constant flux. The 5 elements are constantly dancing. The 3 doshas are changing. The mind is going here and there. The key to the balance is the gratitude. The key to resilience is gratitude. Gratitude strengthens our resilience. It gives us this beautiful mental framework that emphasizes resourcefulness. Our resourcefulness, we rely on love. We rely on our intuition, and we rely on faith, and we resource positivity. We resource our community. We resource our breath. And that then leads us to better, not just better relationships with ourselves, but better relationships with everyone. The interpersonal relationships improve because gratitude enhances our ability to have empathy and appreciation and mutual respect. We start listening to each other. I have to work on this. I'm working on this. Listening. Because I was taught, or I wasn't taught how to listen properly. So many times, someone's speaking to me, and my mind is already generating a response before I've actually listened to what they're saying. So cultivating the quality of listening, that's part of gratitude. Really caring about what the other person is saying. That's mutual respect, listening to what they say. Being grateful that someone has enough awareness, enough empathy, enough compassion, that they want to share something with us. If they're speaking, it's probably valuable. And what that does is strengthens our social bonds. And those bonds create community, and they create lifetime friends. It increases the oxytocin, that's the bonding hormone. And this gratitude, it improves our communication, not just listening, but it improves our communication. And when we can listen and communicate with gratitude, our interactions become so much better. Our interactions become divinely synchronistic, and we're attracting people in our lives who are resonant with who we are and what we're doing. if you have an intimate relationship, if you're in a couple and you regularly express gratitude to each other, this is another study they did. It was published in Psychological Science that couples who are regularly expressing gratitude report higher levels of relationship satisfaction and their relationships last. What all of this does, physical, mental, emotional, sociological expression of gratitude does for us, is raises our level of consciousness. Gratitude not only affects our physical, mental, and emotional health, it really plays this transformative role in elevating our consciousness. First and foremost, by deepening our own self-awareness, because it's creating the space for our own spiritual growth. And when we grow, that is naturally going to spill over into our interpersonal connections, our relationships, whether it's with our family or in our job or in our community circles or in the world at large. Even if we're only a social media presence, if you're sharing online, that will translate. The World Wide Web, it can be used for such good. It can be used to connect us or ensnare us like a web. So we can use it for connection. And when you're truly expressing gratitude, even through the web, it's vibrational too. So that vibration is felt. But more than anything, on a spiritual level, on a conscious level, gratitude is encouraging us to be mindful of ourself and to do self-reflection, what's called Atma Vicharya, self-inquiry. And these are key components to expanding our consciousness or returning to consciousness. Consciousness is itself whole complete, just like the universe. We just separated ourselves from it, or we have the illusion that we separated ourselves from it. We actually can never be separate from it. Consciousness itself is playing hide and seek with itself. So if we focus on what's present in this moment, we really reestablish the understanding of ourselves, which is what Ayurveda and yoga's entire goal is. Creating daily practices for gratitude or creating daily practices of self-awareness is a key component to this. The most modern method of this is gratitude journaling. And that is getting a notebook that's specifically for journaling. And what I tell people to do is get the notebook and keep it right by the bed. Keep your notebook and your pen right by the bed. And when you wake up, first thing, take some deep breaths, give thanks for life. Touch the earth in gratitude, praise the divine in gratitude, and then take your pen and paper out and write down your gratitude. Write down the blessings that are there to create positive aspects in your life. And it doesn't matter what you're grateful for. It can be the most mundane things or the most mystic things. It can be for the person laying next to you in bed. It could be for that someone's not laying next to you in bed, depending on your life circumstance, right? Can't live with them, can't live without them, although we're better together. But having a gratitude journal, again, you can just write down that you're grateful for the pen and paper. Write down that you're grateful for the cup of high quality raw cacao that you're about to have, or that you have a body that you can do a yoga practice with, or a job, whatever it is. Write down 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for first thing in the morning. And I do recommend doing that again before bed. Having a gratitude meditation, I also find very valuable, and I do that myself every day. And that's contemplation of the things we're grateful for. And that enhances our present moment awareness. It enhances our connection to ourself, to the earth, to the divine. All of these things that cultivate gratitude are, for the most part, the foundation, the cornerstone of pretty much every spiritual tradition. And that creates a connection of something greater than oneself. I've had the blessing of doing so many sweat lodges with First Nation elders, and give thanks to Great Spirit, give thanks to the stones, the elders who we believe are in the stones that are making the fire, the wood, the 5 elements, to the 4 directions. Grandmother Earth, Grandfather Sky, we give thanks to the elements, to the rain, to the plants, giving thanks for everything, because it's this Mother Earth, this divine Mother Earth. She has given birth to us. The universe has been here for 14.5 billion years. Our galaxy and planet have been here for 4.5 billion years. We've only been here 300,000 years. Humans have been here 300,000 years. Nature, the universe, gave birth to herself in our form with the 5 sense organs. Why? She wanted to be perceived in all of her glory because she couldn't perceive herself. So Mother Nature, the Divine Mother, gave birth to us with 5 sense organs so we can perceive beauty. We can perceive grace. We can perceive nature. We can perceive the universe. So creation gave birth to creation to perceive itself in all the beauty. That is what life is for, beauty. Being grateful to appreciate and see beauty. That's the highest gratitude. In the Vedic traditions, part of this expression, it's bhakti. It's devotion. It's devotion to that supreme source that created this, so this can see that in everything. This is that Om Tat Sat, as above, so below. And so this reciprocity of love, this reciprocity of devotion, this reciprocity of gratitude is the highest expression of spiritual love. Loving everything as self, appreciating everything as self, seeing the beauty in everything as self, not comparing. Comparing is confusion. All the trees in the forest, everyone is unique with the twists and turns, with the roots bigger or smaller, the branches, the leaves, different shapes, different colors, different sizes, different fruits. They don't compare. The skinny aspen tree isn't telling the oak tree or the banyan tree, hey, buddy, lose some weight. The oak tree, the banyan tree isn't telling the aspen tree, hey, gain some weight. Why are you so skinny? Why are you so frail? Nothing like this. Why do we compare? There's only one of us. Each one of us is so divinely unique. We were created, as the saying goes, in the image of God. Everyone, everything in creation, every individual, from a blade of grass to the mightiest oak tree to the tallest mountain, to every single human on the planet, is so divinely unique. Being grateful for who you are as you are. Being grateful for every person, who they are as they are. You can't be or do anyone else. Everyone is taken. You can only be yourself. Acknowledging the glory of you, the blessing of the divine that is you. This gratitude expressed and honored in yourself then radiates out to everyone. There's a passage in the Charaka Samhita in Sutrasthana chapter 1, verse 57. It says that the mind that is tranquil and content becomes the ground for health, wisdom, and liberation. When we express gratitude from this viewpoint, gratitude isn't just a mental technique. It's a vibrational state that harmonizes the 3 doshas, vata, pitta, kapha. It harmonizes the gunas, the qualities of the mind, sattva, rajas, and tamas. It enkindles that agni, that digestive and mental fire that takes life's experience and transforms it into something beautiful. It purifies the subtle body so we are vibrating at a high frequency. Ayurveda and modern science both emphasize that gratitude is one of the most, if not the most fundamental tool for healing and elevating consciousness. It is seen as an essential practice for cultivating our mental clarity, our emotional balance, and our spiritual growth. Again, Ayurveda tells us that gratitude is sattva. It is that which is clarity, harmony, and inner peace. And ultimately, the different practices of Ayurveda yoga, meditation, mantra chanting, seva, selfless service, these are all tools that cultivate gratitude. And if we have gratitude, then we naturally want to go out and do service. We want to serve the world. We want to serve the creation out of love, not out of servitude, not out of slavitude, but out of love. Because we have love for the whole of creation. And Ayurveda looks at gratitude through the lens of the doshas. This is so beautiful. We can see it on an individual level. So if you're a vata or a pitta or a kapha, there's different ways of cultivating that gratitude. Because vata types, they're imbalanced. They're prone to anxiety, fear, restlessness. When gratitude is expressed by the vata constitution, they become grounded in their mind and in their body. And that creates a stability in them. And that gratitude grounds them and warms them. They feel warm and nurtured. And instead of having worry, there's appreciation. For a vata constitution, daily gratitude slows down those racing thoughts and stabilizes the nervous system. For a pitta, where the pitta is always striving, out of balance pitta, is striving for this perfectionism. We're perfectly imperfect, and that's perfect. There's a Vedic mantra, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. From the perfect arises. The perfect can only create the perfect. If you take away from the perfect, what remains is still perfect. Dwell in that perfect state of consciousness. Pitta's trying to achieve some concept of perfection that doesn't exist because it already is that way. And so they're striving for something that's never attainable. That leads to over-control. That leads to irritability. That leads, when it's really out of balance, to anger and rage. What gratitude does for a pitta is softens that pitta intensity. And it invites a humility, a humbleness. And it invites patience. And it opens the pitta's heart. It cools that inner fire that's raging and redirects it towards a devotional state, towards a loving, kind, compassionate, devotional state. So gratitude really is so cooling for a pitta. It reduces the anger and promotes compassion. Then the fire of pitta grows and glows brightly. It illuminates. And then for the kapha, remember, kapha is heavy when it's out of balance. It's lethargy, it's inertia, it's deep attachment, it's hoarding, it's emotional stagnation, it's physical stagnation. So when a kapha is expressing gratitude, it energizes them, it uplifts them, it generates an enthusiasm and a generosity of spirit and motivation. Because a kapha is naturally, when they're in balance, they're filled with warmth and compassion and empathy. So what the gratitude does is promotes this motivation to go out and share that with generosity and enthusiasm. It counteracts that stagnation. So gratitude brings all three doshas into harmony. That's the goal of Ayurveda, is to bring the three doshas, the 5 elements that are constantly changing, into lasting harmony, which creates lasting wellness. The other concept in Ayurveda that's profound is Ojas. Ojas is the vital essence responsible for immunity, longevity, and our radiance, our spiritual radiance. It's said that Ojas is built through sattvic living, through dharmic living, through eating whole foods and getting adequate rest. But the biggest quality, the biggest component to strong Ojas is emotions like compassion and love and empathy. And guess what? Gratitude. So when we dwell in this state of gratitude, our Ojas flourishes. The heart opens. You become magnetic. There's a quote in one of the Ayurvedic texts, Ashtanga Hridayam, the heart of the 8 limbs of Ayurveda. It says, one with strong Ojas is always joyful, always content, and always luminous. Doesn't that sound wonderful? To always be joyful, always be content, and always be filled with light? That's what I want. Gratitude protects our Ojas. It protects it from depletion. It protects it and strengthens it. So it's strengthening our immune system, because Ojas is not just physical pathogens, it's our immune system, physical and emotional immunity. It protects us against emotional and psychic toxicity too. And what that means is all the stuff on the news, all the stuff on the internet, all the fear and hate and division, that psychic attack. When we have strong Ojas, those things don't affect us the same way. We see it in a different light. We have a reframe. That's what we pray for. That's what we have love and empathy and compassion for. That's what leads us to a higher state of consciousness, this quantum field, this quantum universal frequency. Gratitude is a frequency. More than anything, it's a vibrational pattern, it's a frequency. And that frequency harmonizes our personal vibrational frequency with the cosmic field of abundance. Our personal vibrational frequency and the universal cosmic frequency become one. From the consciousness perspective, every thought we have, every emotion we have emits a vibrational pattern or a vibrational signature that's affecting our reality. The world is as we see it. We can see a rope as a rope, or we can see a rope as a snake. Gratitude is really the highest emotion, the highest vibration we can emit. When we have gratitude, when we dwell in gratitude, we're saying yes to life. We're saying yes to what is. That includes the difficult experiences. That includes the pain. We're not trying to bypass anything here. In so many spiritual traditions, it's go beyond it all. We came here for the human experience. We came to experience the beauty of being human, the beauty of nature, the beauty of creation. And everyone's trying, if we sit around meditating all day trying to bypass the human experience, we're missing the point. It's saying yes to that, even the pain. Doesn't mean we become the pain. We witness the pain. It's part of us, just like the joy is part of us. Who we are is pure consciousness. We're the witness consciousness. We're the substratum of it all. So we encompass all emotions, but we should do it with a sense of awareness versus overly identifying with those emotions. It's saying yes to life. And what that does is creates a resonance in the quantum field. And it attracts more experiences that we can be grateful for. It's this divine synchronicity. This is actually being explored in quantum psychology and epigenetics, that when we say yes to life, when we express gratitude, we're creating a resonance in the field of universe that attracts more experiences that are beautiful, wonderful, in harmony with what we're emitting. So why not emit love? In the Vedic philosophy, there's this concept called rhythm. It's the cosmic order of things. It's the intelligence of the universe, this cosmic order of intelligence that governs the Big Bang, the galaxies, the universe, the quasars, the black holes, all of it, the stars, the movement of the planets, the movement of the seasons, and the movement of our soul's journey. Gratitude is a key to returning to that rhythm, to that natural intelligence of the universe. And when we honor and we're grateful for what we have, the universe responds with coherence. We become a coherent vibrational frequency. This is the truest secret to manifestation. Not writing everything on a manifestation board, although that can be beneficial, but it's simply aligning our consciousness with the universe. It's aligning our consciousness through appreciation. That comes from gratitude. That also comes from curiosity. Because the universe is so vast, what can we actually know? We've been here 300,000 years. The universe has been here 14.5 billion years. What can we actually know? Well, we can know the self. But knowing the self requires being humble. And being humble requires gratitude. And then that coherence, that universal coherence, it creates heart coherence because the universe was created for love. The nature of the universe is Satchidananda, pure bliss consciousness. The universe created itself to experience itself as love. There's this really cool institute called the Heart Math Institute. It's phenomenal. They do so much science, mystical science, quantum science, Vedic science, and they have shown that gratitude produces a coherence. It's a state where the heart rhythm becomes completely ordered and harmonious. This coherence radiates through the electromagnetic field, and it influences those around us to a large degree, up to 30 meters. We vibrate. We are vibrational beings. Gratitude is relational and vibrational medicine. It not only heals our body, our DNA, our RNA, it not only heals the body, it heals ourself, and it heals others. it sends waves of healing into the field of consciousness. That is so profound. Ram Dass, I get this on a whole nother level now. In the 90s, I met Ram Dass in the early 90s. And he said something that was so profound to me. I hold it with me every day. He says, I work on myself as service to others, and I serve others as work on myself. The work I do on myself vibrates into the field, and it affects everyone. If I'm thinking positive thoughts, it affects everyone. If I have a negative thought, it affects those around me. Everything I think, everything I feel, everything all of us think and feel, it goes up into the atmosphere. It goes into the atmosphere, the sphere of consciousness that the self resides in. And it rains down upon us. That is profound. So, tools to practice cultivating gratitude, to cultivate raising your vibrational frequency and pattern so that we have a positive effect on everyone and everything. Even the trees, even the plants, even the stars. We have an effect on the stars. The stars have an effect on us. It's reciprocity. Modern science has told us that if a butterfly flaps its wings in Antarctica, it affects the wind currents on Jupiter. That is so profound. Everything we do affects everything else. There's one unified field. To me, I have a braingasm, a mindgasm, a heartgasm. It's so exciting. My cells are filled with jubilation knowing that if I fill myself with love, it changes everything. I hope that excites you the same way it does me. So practices that can cultivate this gratitude. Really simple. Journaling. Write down 3 to 5 things every day that you're grateful for, and be specific. Include why each one has meaning to you. This wires and rewires the brain. Really, it rewires and patterns the brain to focus on positivity and abundance, and it creates new neural networks. It creates brain-derived neural growth factor. That means we can regenerate brain cells, okay? Do any act of kindness. Performing an act of kindness, it fosters gratitude in ourselves, it strengthens our interpersonal connections, and it creates a vibrational frequency in other people. They want to pay it forward. Now, I'm not huge on staring at a screen, but there's an amazing movie called Pay It Forward. I think it came out like 20 years ago. But if you have the opportunity to watch it, Pay It Forward. It's such a beautiful movie. Ayurveda and yoga give really profound practices as well. It's doing pranayama and mantra japa, but doing it with what's called bhavana, doing it with an attitude, doing it with an attitude of love, of devotion, of intention. When we express gratitude through the breath, it becomes amplified. When we express gratitude through mantra, it becomes amplified. So basically, that just means sitting quietly, setting an intention of gratitude, breathing slowly, and sending that gratitude out to the universe, telling the earth what you're grateful for, silently within yourself, within yourselves. And I mean, on another level, water. Water is the biggest vibrational pattern. Our water cells in my body are communicating with every other water cell on planet Earth. So when we do mantra, when we have gratitude in ourselves, it's literally telling every other cell of water on the planet to vibrate at this higher frequency. Repeating mantras. Mantra means manastratika or manastrayate. Bring the mind to one pointed focused awareness, and then we transcend the mind. When we go beyond the mind, where do we end up? In the heart. The longest journey from the head to the heart. We get out of the ego and we dwell in love. There's a mantra, a Sanskrit saying, Danya Vadam. Danya Vadam. I give thanks. Give thanks and praise to the Most High. Even the Rasta, they hit the chillum, they take a hit of the spliff. That's their medicine. Praise Jah. There's thanking God. Praise the Most High. It doesn't matter what language, what religion, what tradition, no tradition. Just give thanks and praise. The thank you practice, okay? Just say thank you. Inwardly, all day long, thank you, thank you, thank you for the smallest things. Thank you for a warm cup of tea. Thank you for a kind glance. If you can't do an act of service, Smiling at someone is an act of service. You're increasing the vibrational frequency. Whether they receive it or not, it doesn't matter. You keep smiling. Smiling is medicine. Never stop smiling. It actually improves your health. It takes 4 muscles to smile. If I remember correctly, it's in excess of 50 muscles to frown. It's so much more energy to frown. So just smile. It's good for you. It's good for everyone. It increases the frequency of the heart. If you go to the coffee shop to get a cup of tea or your cup of coffee, hopefully not. Hopefully you're getting a cup of chai or a cup of matcha, or you made your own. But anyway, whatever. If you're at the grocery store and you're checking out, sincerely look at the person in the eye helping you and thank them. Truly, sincerely thank them with real gratitude in your heart, not just thanks as a formality, but really, thank you for being here to serve my coffee for me. Thank you for being essence God serving coffee for me, whatever it is. Gratitude should be woven into the fabric of our daily life. Write letters of appreciation to loved ones. Don't just send an email. Don't just leave a voicemail text. Write a tangible letter. It means something. It creates an emotional bond. It creates such profound positive feelings. Offer gratitude before your meal. In traditional Ayurveda, sit, express silent or spoken gratitude to the farmers, to the sun, to the water, to the earth, for all the beings whom made it possible for that meal to be there. That enhances your physical and emotional and spiritual digestion. And it also infuses the food with prana, with life force. Amazing. Before bed, have a meditation practice that focuses on gratitude, reflecting on the blessings and visualizing gratitude for all the other people you met during the day, all the other people that contributed to your life experience. Even the difficult ones, even the challenging ones, especially those, because that's how we grow. And as you lay in bed, do 3 gratitudes in your mind, in your heart, or write it down. Have it by the bedside, write down 3 gratitudes, but send loving gratitude to someone. Send loving gratitude as you're going to sleep to the person that challenged you the most. And send loving gratitude to the Most High, to whatever form of the divine you see. Gratitude can be consciously cultivated through these intentional practices. And this should be integrated into our daily life. I've had people tell me that they do have resistance to gratitude, especially people who've had immense trauma, because they're saying, I've heard them say that gratitude can feel inaccessible or forced or inauthentic. And it's really important to honor where we are. We don't want to bypass anything. Gratitude is not bypassing. It's a bridge. It's a gentle offering. It's a gentle opening. True gratitude includes our capacity to witness suffering and simultaneously still acknowledging the beauty. Both can exist simultaneously. In Ayurveda, this is called samyak darshana, the right vision, the right seeing, to seeing what is as it is. We're not denying painful experiences. We're not denying the trauma. We see what was truly there and how we can grow from that and how we can heal from that. Gratitude really provides a bridge to this. There was a poem by Rumi. It says, "Try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you as it is and be grateful." Gratitude is not just a technique. It is a way of being. Gratitude is a lens through which we can come into intimate communion with all of life, with ourselves, with our relationships, with the earth, with the universe. So whether it's spoken out loud or silently held in your heart or written down in a notebook, gratitude dissolves the separation we feel in ourselves and with each other. And it takes the perceived mundane experiences of life and makes them sacred. Life is not mundane. I don't even know why we have that word. Life is sacred. Every aspect, every breath is sacred. If you're underwater and you are not coming to the surface, you're going to realize how sacred that breath is very quickly. What gratitude does is transform our suffering into compassion. It transforms our scarcity into not just sufficiency, but abundance. Both modern science and Ayurveda affirm that gratitude strengthens our immune system, our physical body. It stabilizes and harmonizes our mind. It improves our sleep. It improves and enhances our relationship. It improves every aspect of our life. And most importantly, it awakens our consciousness. It restores our belonging to the great web of life. It teaches us that we are not alone, that every breath of life is a gift, that joy is our birthright. It's not a luxury. It's not something to be attained outside of ourselves. That peace and liberty is not something to be attained or strive for. It's who we are. It's why creation happened. Gratitude is the path to health and consciousness. It's so much more than just a fleeting emotion. Gratitude is a transformative state of being that's bridging health and consciousness. Let us cultivate gratitude on an individual level and experience for ourselves the profound benefits that happen. Let us foster harmony in ourselves. Let us uplift our minds. Let us elevate our connection to the universe. And through intentional practices, let gratitude become a powerful tool for healing, growth, and the realization of our highest potential. It's so simple. It's so profound. I want to close with a Sanskrit prayer, a blessing. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Shantu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukhabhag Bhave. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from disease. May all beings only see auspiciousness. May no one suffer in any way. Let us have universal harmony. Let us embody gratitude for life. Let us embody gratitude for our shared humanity. Dhanyavadam samrapayami. I offer my gratitude to all of you listening and sharing this space with me today. May each of us live each day with an open heart and be grateful for the seen and unseen blessings. May our bodies be nourished, may our minds be clear, and may our spirit shine with the light of inner knowing. In the deepest gratitude, you are already whole and perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for joining me today. And as always, if you found benefit in this, please share it with your friends, your family, your community, your network. Share it with whoever you feel can benefit from it. And please share your experience. Share what you're grateful for. Share your gratitude rituals. Share your consciousness. By sharing in this community, we grow, we learn from each other. And I feel like I'm a student. I'm always learning. I don't feel like I'm a teacher or anything. I feel like I'm a perpetual student. I'm a way better student. I love learning. So I learn from you. Share your experiences. Share your love. Share your wisdom. I'm so grateful if you do. Blessings, blessings upon blessings. Until next time, my deepest love. Namaste.